Hey guys, welcome to the 143rd edition of the Animated Girls Profile Confidential. And you're going to be surprised about who we're going to talk about here because, well, she was animated. And she played a more significant role in her animated form than her live action form. And that, of course, is Rhonda. Now, Rhonda is from the franchise known as ALF. In fact, she is ALF Golden, whose real name is Gordon Shumway. Rhonda is ALF's girlfriend. That's right. She is his love interest. And if you follow the original live action series, Rhonda and one of ALF's best friends, I think it's Spiff or somebody, whatever his name is, Spiff, Biff, whatever, are the only ones, that we know of, along with ALF, that have survived the planet Melmac's destruction. And they're off looking for a new world to make into the new Melmac. And that's kind of what we got plot-wise for ALF in the season finale, or the series finale. It turned out to be the series finale, in case you guys don't know. It turned out to be the series finale, even though it was supposed to be the season finale. But yeah, that was kind of a plot point for that final episode, was ALF was going to go back, with his girlfriend and with his best friend, if you will, and basically, start inhabiting or start making this new planet they bought inhabitable to be the new Melmac. But of course, if you pay attention to the finale and how that led into a couple years later into the, I guess you could say the movie finale, if you will kind of see that, those plans for ALF to go back, with his girlfriend and his best friend, didn't turn out the way he would want. But of course, everybody, even back then, and I'm sure the producers knew about this, and even the guy behind ALF, the creation of ALF, knew about this. They realized, people are going to want to know what was life like on Melmac. He talks, because in the live action series, ALF would talk so highly of Melmac and those that were close and dear to him, but along with his family, I should say. He would talk about his family, he was talking about Rhonda, and so on. So, what better way to kind of work around that, if you will, than to basically create an animated prequel series to where you could do a lot of things, with ALF and his family and his friends that you can't do due to limitations at that time, with live action. So in the late 80s, I would assume about 87, 88, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was around this time frame. I think it might have been 88, 89, but again, correct me if I'm wrong. ALF, the animated series, debuted on NBC. And this was during like the final 3 years that NBC would fully be focused on Saturday morning cartoons. But ALF debuted, and it proved to be a huge hit. ALF, of course, is a very iconic character even today. So it proved to be such a big hit that about 2 years later, they decided to do a spin-off series called ALF Tales, where basically ALF and his friends and his family would basically take on the roles of all these iconic fairy tales or folklore tales that we heard of, but with an ALF Melmacian twist. Basically they would be hybrids and mixtures of different iconic stories from, that we would see on Broadway or in movies, all mixed together to tell their interpretation of an iconic fairy tale like Cinderella, Three Little Bears, Wizard of Oz, and so on. And Rhonda was there for most of those interpretations because she, believe it or not, would play the main role of some of the characters involved in the story. Whether it was Rapunzel, whether it was Cinderella, you name it, she would play a huge role. In fact, they did a version of Sleeping Beauty with the roles reversed, and you thought the director behind Revolutionary Girl Utena, the movie, you think he was the first to do this when he had Utena and Anthe reverse roles at the end. When Utena, courtesy of a car wash, you have to watch the movie to see what I'm talking about and look up the information if you want. Thanks to a car wash, basically shapeshift or was transformed, morphed into basically a car that had two model modes, designs, if you will, that Anthe could drive. So yeah, it's not the first time. He's not the first one, I should say, that would reverse the roles of Sleeping Beauty. Because ALF did that in ALF Tales. And it took Rhonda's character to to come to the rescue. But yeah, she played a huge, significant role in ALF Tales in all the roles she would portray. And she also played a significant role in the ALF animated series, which again served as the prequel. And they got the same lady, I can't think of her name right now, to voice Rhonda as she did in the live action series, because yes, she did make an appearance in the live action series, for one episode, that is. And from what I remember, basically, Rhonda was a great character. She was a fun-loving character. Just like Gordon, Alf's mom, she would basically let Gordon know that she's not going to take a lot of his BS and everything. And that's kind of what Gordon was, that's kind of what helped Gordon be attracted to her. Outside of his own mother, she was the only one to put him in his place, to kind of make him, realize, hey, this is dumb what you're doing and everything kind of deal or whatever. But yeah, she was a fun character, and basically, when you watch the animated series and you watch ALF Tales, you can really see that personality, just come out of her character, more so than I think we were given a glimpse of, during the one cameo appearance in the live action series. Now, the question obviously is, would Rhonda have made a return in the ALF franchise had things gone basically the way they should have, or originally intended to? I don't know. I don't know if she would have made a return or not, but I can say that without a shadow of a doubt, had she made a return, there's no doubt she would play a significant role. There's no doubt in my mind that if the true final season was done and she was to show up, there's no doubt you could have had a great interaction with her, the Tanner family, not the Full House Tanner family, but the Tanner family there from ALF, as well as you can have a great interaction with any other characters that were being introduced in the final season, especially if, one of the characters was going to be the female character from Project ALF that helped ALF and everything. That would have been a great interaction there. But we don't know. But all I could say is, her being part of the cast, her being kind of, Gordon, Alf's, counterpart, I thought was a great idea. And it definitely showed that, she had more range to her character than, like I said, outside of her first and only cameo in the live action series. So to me, when you watch her in the ALF animated series as well as in the ALF Tales animated series, you'll definitely see exactly why a lot of fans like the character. They do. She's not on par of, with the likes of a Gadget, from Rescue Rangers, or a Sally Acorn from Sonic Satayam, but she is very popular. She is very beloved. And a lot of people would agree that she is probably the best counterpart to a Gordon Shumway and ALF that you could ever ask for outside of his mom. And it's just terrific. It's terrific to see, in my opinion. It really is. But Can't really say more than that. If you want to watch the ALF animated series, you have several ways of doing it. You can watch it on Peacock, from what I understand. It is on Peacock in the kids section. So you can watch ALF Tales and ALF the animated series there. You can watch it on MeTV Tunes. Yes, MeTV Tunes has it. It's on it's on very early on Saturday mornings, depending on how you watch it. If you can watch it through your local stations or even your cable outlets, because yes, MeTV Tunes is slowly being integrated into cable outlets. Spectrum is one of the latest, if not one of the first to do it. Depending on, like I say, how you watch it, if you watch it through over the air and cable outlets, you can watch it through your local time, which here on the West Coast would be 6 a.m., just like on the East Coast. Or 5 a.m., I should say, not 6 a.m., but 5 a.m. here on the West Coast and the East Coast if you're watching through over the air and cable outlets. But if you're watching through Friendly TV and Philo, those apps, then you got to get up real early, or at least use the DVR option that they have, depending on the subscription you have for Friendly or Philo. Use the DVR option if Philo has one. I know Friendly does. And schedule the recordings for the entire show, so that way you can catch up on it when you want. And by the way, Friendly TV does have two good options for this. With the $9.99, you get 3 months worth of DVR recordings, basically 90 days. But then they also have the $11.99, which gives you 9 months of DVR recording. So that means you have not just the initial 90 days, but you have another 90 days. That's 6 months. That's 180. And then you have another, 90 days, if you will, on top of that. So again, outside of the initial 90 days of 3 months, you have another one added on. That's 180 days. And then the other one tacked onto that. You will have basically most of 1 year to enjoy your DVR recordings before they are expired. Because Friendly TV will take them off after 1 year. But yeah, that's the option there if you want to go there with the $11.99. But again, it all depends on if you watch it that way. Because if you watch it that way, you got to get up early. Because Friendly TV and Philo TV go off the Eastern time zone airings. So what that means is basically, since it comes on at 5, on the West Coast it's 2 a.m., Mountain it's 3, Central is 4, you get the idea. But with that said though, guys, again, if you want to check out Rhonda from ALF, the animated series, and ALF Tales, those are optional ways to do it. You can also find the show on the official ALF YouTube channel. I think it's the official ALF YouTube channel or Shout Factory channel. You can find it there as well. You can find the animated series and the ALF animated series, or ALF Tales animated series as well. So you have 3 options, or 4 options actually. But no, that's 3 options. Yeah, it's 3 options to watch it. You have Peacock, you have MeTV Tunes, and you have YouTube, and maybe as well as Pluto TV. I think Pluto TV also has it as well. But guys, let me know what your thoughts are on Rhonda. How do you like the character? Do you think she's a good foil and love interest for Alf Golden Shumway? And what do you think she would have done had the series live action, if you will, properly continued? What do you think the role she would have played would have been? And do you think if they do another Alf animated project, she should play a bigger, more significant role than before? Let me know down below, guys. Comment if you like. Love to hear from each and every one of you on this. And until then, do all the things you need to do. Ring the bell for notifications, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and also click on the links to find me elsewhere here on the internet, as well as at deviantart.com at BVW1979. And also the Teespring store link is down at the bottom as well. Also, you can find me on Twitter. That link is at the top. Support me there, guys. Follow and support me there, guys. It'd be really helpful. But again, in closing, let me know what your thoughts are on Rhonda. How did you feel about her? What role do you think she would have played had this live action show had a proper conclusion and final season? And do you think if they did do, or do you think if they do, I should say, another ALF animated project, that maybe she could be playing a more significant role? Let me know. And until next time, guys, I am out.